Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review as I continue my, well, I would say Trek, but I've reviewed these films in the past, but since I am watching the Blu-ray set, I figure give, an updated thoughts on the film, and that is Critters 3. Let's see if I can get a little bit of better lighting here. Let's see. A little bit. Now, Critters 3, I would say it's my least favorite of the four Critters films, but I can still watch it. It's funny, I think during my review of the Blu-ray box set, because when I did that, I'd watch the features, the commentaries. I flipped through them to see if the sound was fine on the movie. And during the commentary, I'm watching the images. But then, to just sit down and watch the movie from beginning to end. But when I reviewed that Blu-ray box set, I think I mentioned I do prefer Critters 4 over Critters 3, even though Critters 4 has more issues. I disagree with that. I have some issues with this, but I do have a few more issues. So it makes more sense why this is my least favorite. But again, I don't hate this film. There's so many worse sequels. Howling 3, The Marsupials. Howling 7, New Moon Rising. Fucking those Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Chucky of Futties, Don Mancini's Tears, and a water bottle. Let me drink them. That new fucking Predator movie. I mean, there's so much worse fucking sequels than Critters 3. Critters 3, at the end of the day, it's a harmless time waster. I can still enjoy for the critter action. What I mean by that is the effects by the Chiodo brothers, which, even though it was a lower budget film, they're able to do a little bit more detail, a little bit more movement with the animatronics. And I still think the critters look pretty damn good. Of course, this covers a bit about false advertising. Makes it look like they're gonna fuck up a city, which is not the case. See if we can get a little bit of light here. A little bit. What can I say? It's a cheap curtain. I'm cheapskate. The reason I'm a cheapskate on this is so I can get these. So, oh well. It's directed by Christine Peterson, who's nowhere on the feature, so I guess she didn't like this film. It stars Amy Brooks, Leonardo DiCaprio, very young Leo, one of his early films. Don Opper returns as Charlie, who's the only... Him and Terrence Malick are the only two people in all four films. Charlie's still chasing these critters, and our main cast is this family, a teenage daughter, a father, and the son, a little kid. The three of them coming back from vacation. They go back to their home, which is in this apartment building. The critter eggs are hidden under the car, although now I'm trying to remember what happened to the actual critter that laid the eggs. Fuck, I'm trying to remember that because the eggs had been laid by something, and I don't remember that critter being killed. So, and because by the end of the film, there's two eggs left. Well, what happened to the critter that laid the eggs? Maybe I fucking blanked out. I might have, so don't hold me to that. But they hatch, and then they start terrorizing this apartment building, where you have a group of characters. Some I like more than others. You have this old couple. The woman is Frances Bay. You may recognize her from In the Mouth of Madness. She was the old woman who was the clerk at the hotel, where later on you saw that she had her husband chained and she's fucking killing them. I like this. I think her name is Marcia. The actress's name is Catherine Cortez, who's the handy woman. She works at the phone company. I liked her. I kind of wish she was the star. I liked her. She seemed natural. She was tough, but she wasn't forcing herself to be tough. And yeah, I wish she was the lead. I liked her. Yeah, this scumbag, which I don't know if he was trying to do a Brooklyn accent, New York accent, Jersey. I don't know what accent it is. But he was kind of fun in the creep role that he was playing, being an asshole, a douchebag. And we have a few others. I mean, Amy Brooks is there as the lead. She's take it or leave it. The father, I think he's the weakest. He was just oblivious and I don't know, just seemed off. The kid was a kid. Leo DiCaprio, he's there because his stepfather is trying to force these people out of their homes and brings Leo along, even though Leo doesn't want to go along, and forces him to go into his apartment building to evict people. And then the critters kills the stepfather. You definitely get quite a few scenes of critter action, especially compared to Critters 4, which you really get for mostly two critters. That's one of the drawbacks on that movie. It seemed like they spent more money on this for the critters than 4, which is one of the problems with that. And one of the highlights of this, probably the main highlight, and the main reason I can watch it. It's a short film, like the other Critters movies. It's under 90 minutes. I like Don Opper, but he's in it for like one scene at the beginning, and then the chunk in the third act. Granted, they didn't have the budget to go in the city. Would have been nice, but an apartment building. It was a little bit different from the first and second film, so okay. There's certain sequences of fun still in there, like the one of the characters throwing something down the stairs and the critters get hit like they're bowling pins, as mixed in with someone actually watching a bowling game on TV. And you still did a good chunk of action of them trying to attack the inhabitants of this apartment building. Some of the critter death scenes are cool. Like Charlie has this certain, you can't see it well, but this certain gun that he shoots and it launches a critter in the air and it blows up. Like certain moments of that were fun. When the stepfather of Leo DiCaprio's character gets killed, he enters a room and he thinks it's three heads watching a TV, but then they all turn, it's the critters. I like that scene, the setup of that scene. And yeah, I think the critters look good. Because the thing with this movie, this was shot back to back with Critters 4. Because New Line Cinema didn't want to do Critters movies. Critters 2 was such a bomb. There's no interest. And then the producer said, well, let's have it be two for the price of one. And they're like, okay, two for the price of one. So this and Critters 4 in total cost like $2.5 million. That's for both films. And again, I think most of it went into this, and then a fraction of it went into Critters 4. But again, I would say of the four films, this has the weakest cast. Again, there's some I like more, some I like less. Because even Critters 4, I do enjoy Brad Dourif, I do enjoy Angela Bassett. I like this guy, with Sally he never worked again. But I thought he did fine the lead. I prefer her over Amy Brooks. And also, I think this has the weakest musical score. It's not like it's absolutely awful, but the music by David C. Williams didn't really care for. I definitely missed the music in the first two, and I thought the fourth one, especially the opening where it had this sort of subtle, like creepy score for the credits. Here, I don't know if just the scores seem a bit more cartoonish or a bit more. I don't know. And also some of the humor I didn't care for. Like there's a scene where the critters they're going crazy, kind of like in the first film when they're going crazy and feathers are going up and they're messing, biting the bed, and the one bites the ET doll. Here they're in the kitchen, but one of them eats beans and farts. I didn't really care for that. So some of the humor I didn't care for. Like I said, the cast I think is the weakest. The lead is there, Amy Brooks. The what was the other thing? The musical score I think is weak. But one aspect I do enjoy, they gave some of the critters different, I don't know if I want to say aspects, but like one can scream and alerts the others, which I've never seen that before. I thought the effect of it screaming and the little tonsil, I thought that was a nice practical effect. One gets fucked up and bleached in the eye. I thought that was a decent look for that one. Made it separate from the other group of critters. Some fun critters death scenes, like the old woman Frances Bay has this fuck off meat cleaver and cleaves one in half. And it was, again, it's a harmless time waster that I can watch when I'm doing stuff on my computer, and it doesn't, it's a rainy night, you like critters films, you want to see critters in action, not that kind of action, you perverts. I don't think anyone wants to see that, but I'm talking about, biting, attacking, trying to get through doors. There's a scene where, I always forget the actress' name, the phone repair lady. Catherine Cortez is Marcia. She puts a flare in a critter's mouth and then, pushes him down into the base, the hamper thing that goes in the basement and causes the basement to go on fire. Like, compared to the fourth one, there's definitely a consistent amount of critters doing stuff, trying to attack them, trying to get them, which makes the movie go along faster in those moments. And for, a cheap direct-to-video movie, you could do a lot worse. So much worse than Critters 3. I think that's the thing of it. I'm a fan of the Critters. It was nice to see them again. Again, it might be my least favorite, but I'll take it over fucking any of the Leprechaun movies. I'll take over shit like Ghoulies 4, or like Howling 4, Howling 7, or even Howling 5. Pretty much, pretty much any of the Howling movies. Like I said, those later Chucky films. Well, I would put Child's Play 2 and 3 above this, but Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, Kiss My Ass Chucky, Suck My Nuts Chucky, whatever fuck Don Mancini wanted to do. His 57 fucking direct-to-video movies he wants to do of Chucky, which the remake might stop, thank goodness. I'd rather watch this over that shit. But yeah, it's harmless entertainment. It is what it is. And it's an interesting curiosity piece to see Leonardo DiCaprio in an early role. So, Critters 3, it's a simple review, but it's a pretty straightforward movie. Not much else I can say other than that. Thanks for watching, take care, and stay tuned for more videos later.